Hello and welcome to Amazing Africans. We're filming from the city of Port Harcourt, the River State capital, where we're set to shine the spotlight on three incredible sisters who are breaking barriers and soaring to new heights. Literally, we're here to meet with the Makinde sisters, all three of whom are licensed pilots. Let's get to hear the story. Come with me.
The history of aviation spans over 2 millennia, and women have always been involved from the earliest innovations like kites. But despite a steady increase in female pilots over the past decades, the global count of women holding commercial pilot licenses remains relatively low. According to a 2021 study by the International Society of Women Airline Pilots, less than 6% of pilots all around the world are women. But never in the world have we seen three sisters who are pilots. This is the story of three sisters who have conquered the skies. Following in her father's footsteps, Captain Lola is the first of 7 girls and embarked on a journey to become a helicopter pilot. With unwavering support from her family, she overcame various hurdles and obtained her pilot's license. The middle sister was equally captivated by her father's profession. Listening to tales of courage and precision required in piloting helicopters, she was determined to carve her own path in the skies. And the youngest of the trio and of a family of 7 girls, Seun Funmi, chose to take a different route while still keeping her feet firmly in the aviation industry. While Captain Lola and Seun ventured into the world of helicopters, Funmi pursued a career as a fixed-wing pilot. Her ambition and enthusiasm were no less than her sisters', and she embraced the challenges of flying with equal zeal.
Good morning, it's Base 121. We are for West Public Runway 18 left.
Lola, Seun, and Funmi, we must thank you indeed for agreeing to speak with us and share your story here on Channels TV.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you very much.
Being a pilot is no ordinary feat. I mean, according to data, we understand that women pilots are about just 10% globally all around the world. So, I mean, we are indeed so delighted to speak with you. But how does it feel?
It's great. It's an honor. It's something, I've always wanted to be a pilot. It's not something maybe I just jumped out from one ship to another. So it's a beautiful experience. It's been a beautiful experience. It still is for me, and I believe it's still for them also. So it's good when I hear we are amongst the 10% of women in the world. So it's something I'm happy and proud about to be.
Grew up in Port Harcourt due to daddy's job, so we were kind of exposed to helicopters and airplanes early enough. Like, we had an idea of what it was. I mean, I think it's when I tell people that, oh, my dad is a pilot, and they're like, oh, really? I never really saw it as anything so serious before. Not until recently, but I mean, it was a job. personally, I didn't stereotype any job. I didn't think it was just a man's job. So I just did not see it as, oh, well, I get excited when I see a lot of female pilots. So yeah.
You just get to stand out because everybody, they have a stereotype that when they say, oh, pilot, everybody thinks man.
You three grew up in Port Harcourt. Walk us through what that experience was growing up in the city of Port Harcourt. How did the environment shape your personality and who you are today?
Well, we're not just the three. We're 7 girls. And out of 7, 3 are pilots. So all girls, no boy in the house. So it was a bit of how will I put it, where really it was a street home because we're all girls, no boys. So you know how, oh, you just have to, girls, you need to be this, you need to do that, don't go out, you don't have so much friends. We need to learn, we need to be cultures, we need to be, like, how will I put it, the Nigerian word, grow them up like wife material thing, Christian, you need to fear God. We really didn't have much friends, so we had ourselves, the 7 of us, so we're friends to ourselves. I mean, till now, we are best friends. I was born in Warri, so part of my life was in Warri. So Boli moved to Lagos. Lagos was just 2 years in it, and then Port Harcourt was the major part really growing up. So I did my secondary school in Port Harcourt, and then moved to university in Anambra, private university in Anambra. My primary school, nursery and primary for Warri was, I had Osalis International School and the Yeshua International School in Warri, and then moving up to Lagos, I was in a government college in Ikorodu, and then moving up to Port Harcourt, I had government college, Rumokuta Girls Government College Girls School. So from there, then university. So university, Madonna University, and from university, I moved on to my flying school. So flying school was 2 schools. The first initial stage, PPL, was JNC Helicopters in Durban, South Africa, and then I got scholarship with Aero Contractors, who sent me for my commercial in Port Alfred, for the 3-year school in Port Alfred, and then I had like 2 years with Aero Contractor. I worked with them for 2 years before we part ways, and then motherhood, marriage, everything came to play, and after that was Bristol. And I've been with Bristol for almost like 13 years now.
Port Harcourt is home. I still look at it as home because I was still a baby when they moved to Port Harcourt. So all my life was literally Port Harcourt. And I remember that so I always when I look at my sisters and myself, I always say, one family, 7 characters. One had 7 characters, literally. You have the goofy, the stern. We're girls, so we have different characters. And
who's the stern, Lola? Or Seun? Who's the stern? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
it depends on the scenario.
Oh, okay.
The characters fluctuate, but it was beautiful, literally. It was beautiful. Like, Port Harcourt is home for me. I did my secondary school. Primary school was El Shaddai. Secondary school was Eastern Comprehensive. Then I did a higher secondary school in Federal Government College, Umokoro. Then I went to university, Covenant University. That's why I did my university, my first degree. So literally, it's been like Port Harcourt is home. Literally, look at it as home. The city of Bole and fish here. Yeah.
These 3 sisters have not only shattered stereotypes, but have also soared to great heights in their career path as pilots. But what was the turning point?
First time it hit me like, Lola, you want to fly, was when I actually saw this. She's still a friend to me. Her name is Faye. She goes by Faye. Everybody knows her as Lola. And she was 17 then. She said, Lola, there's this pilot I have. My dad had brought the story home. I'm like, we now have a new pilot, female pilot in Aero Contractor, because he worked with Aero, my dad, and like Faith Odushola, and I'm like, So that was when it actually hit me like, oh, that's true. My dad goes to work, he's a pilot. Hey, so I've never heard a woman, like any female pilot. And I looked, and that was when I started sitting down. I said, okay, no, down, let's slow down. Let's go back. Fixed wing. What does she fly? I said, the planes. She flies the planes. And her dad too was a pilot, he's retired. And I'm like, okay. So we talk, he just talked about it casually. And he didn't see like he was sewing the seat. I was like, yeah, he sewed the seat there from him, yes. And then my mom noticed the twinkle in my eyes. And, that's a normal thing with most moms. And she was like, you are interested in it? And I'm like, yes. And I said, but I don't think I want to do the planes. I want to do the helicopters because I wanted to be known first. Now that was my own, like, I've not heard any female helicopter pilot. Let me see if I will do, let me be the first. Let me venture into it. Actually, in all honesty, she was like, are you sure? Because I think your dad's job is very tedious. I see when he comes back from work and he's so tired and everything. And I'm like, but let me try. I think that's what I'll do. And then it was from there I started talking to, I was able to talk to her, that's Faith. And somewhere along we got talking. And then when I got into university, even before I got to university, I was like, I want to go. And then my dad was like, no, I have to go to university. In his mind, I was like, I understand, it's expensive. No parent will want to go into, like, follow a child to chase fantasy, and then we burn money, and at the end you say, oh, it was just hit or moment. So he listened to me and like, okay, but you need to go to school first. Let's go to university. So I think go to university was more like, don't worry, maybe she will come back and change her mind and say, okay, after going through 4 years, I will do this. So I went to university. I did computer science in school. Came out with a 2.2, and then when I came back, I was like, hey, I've done school. So can we go and fly now?
I studied petroleum engineering in Covenant University, and after school, that's when you're trying to find yourself. I was supposed to go to work. I did NYSC, and I was supposed to go for masters, like further my education. So my dad wanted me to go to Canada, and I'm like, no, I want to go to UK. So we had that back and forth, but in between, I was looking for a job. And I didn't really think towards the flying line because already, how I'm like, I don't want people to think because my dad is flying and my sister is flying, I wanted to fly. So I didn't really think about it. But looking for a job, I stumbled on Bristol's, they were trying to interview people, or they were interviewing people to train them. And I was like, oh, let me give it a try. So that was the beginning. After I had to read about it, I'm like, I actually do like this. Like, why am I stopping myself? Like, why would I stop myself from doing this? And at the time, I stayed with her for a bit, so I knew what her routine was like. She was doing 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off, and she was flying helicopters then. I was her son in the house. And I was like, I think I like this. I think I can do it, so why not? So she was more of like the role model to tell me, you can have a family, you can work, and you still be home. You can have it all. So it was more of her in my life than any other thing. So that was what triggered my own aviation growth. And
one day being in the kitchen, and I just heard plane passing, and I just ran out. I was fond of doing it every time. I would just stare at that bird, iron bird in the sky, and she just looked at me and she's like, do you want to fly? And I was like my dad, she said, no, the planes. And I was like, yeah. And because for the longest I always told people I wanted to be a lawyer because I used to talk a lot. But then it just changed, and anybody that cared to hear, I'm like, I'm going to be a pilot. I'm going to fly planes. So it was my mom. Because my dad was a helicopter pilot. Planes was something that I so admired it. I loved the plane. I still look at the plane take off. I still look at the plane land. I'm still in awe of it, even when I fly it. Mm-hmm. Right? So that was my trigger. My mom was my biggest. You can do it.
And where that came in was, he was there to encourage. He didn't say, you cannot do it.
Yeah, and he paid the fees.
So it was more of exactly like
he paid the money.
He was willing to pay. He was willing to.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I had to tell him that I want to tell you something. I no longer want to go for masters. I want to go to flying school. He was still pressing his phone at first, and he stopped and looked at me like, okay, you want to? I'm like, yeah. I saw he was excited. I'm like, okay, I think I got him. So
yeah.
He also played a big part in our journey.
In a world where women are breaking barriers and challenging traditional gender roles, The story of the Makinde pilot sisters stands as an inspiring testament to passion, determination, and familial influence.
I always say that till now, if you put a live show on our family, oh my goodness, it's going to have streams. We're dramatic. And not in a bad way, but you know, personalities. Like, you know who to call when you want fight. You know who to call when you want calmness. You know who to call when you want godliness. You know who to call when you want to make a decision about fashion. When to spend your money, you know who to call. When someone that would give you bad financial advice, oh yes, there's somebody in the house that would, you know. So it's beautiful, to be honest. Younger, like when we're young, it's like girls will still, when we're younger, we steal each other's clothes. Sometimes you are sure that you don't want to take a picture because you've stolen somebody's clothes and you didn't tell them. You know, it was beautiful, it was wholesome. And I think one of the things, I gave a lot of credit to my mom. Like, she made us understand that family is important. Like, and we had the number because we're 7, right? So there was no other best friend than your sister. And it's not like you have one, so each of us we have 6 best friends per person and different characters. So it's not like you're bored with one person. If you're talking to one and you get tired, it's the second one. You would have ginger.
Growing up, I think they say we have like first generation and second generation. I kind of fall in the second generation because she was like in the university already when I kind of got to know myself. So yeah, but I mean now we're all adults. Right, so we're kind of, I won't call it the same, or we relate more than we would have growing up, because there's no, you know how when you're at work, there's no junior, senior, there's no, everybody's your colleague, and so we're now all adults. So it's pretty interesting. We still wear each other's clothes. I mean, she might just see one of her clothes with me in Kigali or something. She has not seen the picture yet, but I mean, you'll probably still see that later. But I mean, you still have those fun things. You have sisters to depend on in any way. Financially, if you were sick, you need support in any way. You have family. We are more than enough for ourselves. So I can't even to pray. Like even when I'm weak to pray, I have my sisters call on to, you know what, this is a situation. I just need you to pray or something. So we have ourselves right now. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I am grateful to God for that.
The sisters' journey into the world of aviation was perhaps significantly influenced by their father, Captain Wale Makinde, a seasoned helicopter pilot who dedicated his life to the skies, flying for over 4 decades.
John Paul came to the 1990, early 90s. I flew him from Enugu to Oba, and it was I was a co-pilot then. And I was proud that I flew the Pope. Even though they were showing his life on CNN, I could see myself. I said, really? I could see myself on CNN. I said, really? That was the beginning of the beginning. So, and many VIPs in this country I flew. I flew IBB. I flew Obasanjo. Papa Obasanjo. I flew him. As a president, I flew him for 7 years. Anytime he's flying, every weekend, you know, it's a high traveler. And then we used to operate an NPC helicopter. So anytime he's flying, my name is always number 1 on the list of flying him because of the experience. So I flew him for 7 years. I flew, he was then a governor, Jonathan. As a deputy governor, I flew him. As a governor, I flew him. And as a president, I also flew him also. So I flew the last head of state, Muhammad Buhari, I flew him also. I like every other father, I think I'm happy that number 1, they take to my profession. After seeing them now, they're like, see what I have done. I didn't see that as a big deal. And I don't make sure, another day I trained. In my house, there's nothing like a boy's job because I'm the only man in the house. Then we used to have this generator that you wind, this generator that you wind like this. All my children then, the guys, they could wind it. They are all ladies, but they go there, there's no light, they just go there. And I was like, how did you do it? We're able to do that. They'll be watching me doing it. So that's how I treat them in the house equally. We are all equal because there's no other boys to send on any hand. And I never saw them as girls anyway. When I'm fixing anything in my car, they are there. Bring me span of starting, they will bring it or whatever, they will bring it for me. So I didn't see them as girls.
Port Harcourt is the 5th most populous city in Nigeria after Lagos, Kano, and Ibadan, and Benin We check in at number 66, Eleparawo in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State, where the sisters called home for many years.
Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Great to meet you.
Same here.
Kelly.
You're welcome. What's up?
This is your
You're welcome. This is the living room downstairs. And this is one of a very, we like to call it historic portrait of ours. None of us was married here. As you can see, our baby Funmi.
Mrs. Mosumola Ebodahe is the second of the 7 girls and a fashion designer. She unpacks fond memories with her siblings.
Let me start with Captain Lola, the leader of the clan. She's the first. She has always wanted to be a pilot since we had knowledge of what we're doing. And my dad used to be an engineer first before he became a pilot. So I know coincidentally, I won't say coincidentally, it's amazing how my mom used to give us stories that when she was born, our dedication was held in the hangar. You know what an hangar looks like? Where you park planes and helicopters. So she has always had a flair. So she becoming a pilot and a successful one at that wasn't surprising. Then Seun followed suit, saw the trend. Seun is an engineer, by the way. She's a graduate, she's an engineer. She was studying in a Combined University. And the good thing about everything, all of us, my dad wanted all of us to go through school first before you follow your ambition. So Lola is a graduate, I am a graduate. The one after me is a graduate, so till Fumilayo, the 7th, we're all graduates. Then Seun had the desire, she went for us and she came out successful. Then Funmi, as you all know, so I'm blessed to have 3 of them.
And then comes the tears and tributes for an integral personality to the success story of the sisters.
My mom was everything. She was really there. My mom was very strong. I think maybe that's where sometimes people think, oh, Lola is strong or something. So she was my mom. She was a mother. She was everything. Everything a mother would be.
You miss her?
I miss her like hell.
Oh, please. I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry.
Just
My mom was a lion and she was a dove. A lion because she was stern. She was a disciplinarian. You can't mess around in our house. Not in our house, not in Mama Mac's house, right? You know? And a dove because she was a mother. In emotions, in prayer. My mom had the mom's sixth sense. And when I say sixth sense is, you can be going through something and you won't say anything and she will call you, are you okay? You can't, like, I remember when I picked up a bad habit, right? I was in that age of my life where I was about to, you know, like, I wanted to pick up a bad habit and my mom called me and she's like, you started doing something. And this is not because somebody told her, like, she's like, she had a sixth sense. You started something, I don't know what it is, but I want you to stop. Like, it was stern, it was direct.
I really wish she was here. She has a mother's sixth sense indeed. Like, literally, she's going to call me up and she'll, how are you? And I'm, oh, I'm fine. She's like, you're not fine. So I'm fine. She knows when you're not fine. She knows just when to pray for you. She knows the prayer point to make. She knows what to tell you at every point in time. Like, she formed who I am today. She says, oh, pray for yourself. Deliver yourself. Oh, don't have Zion. She taught us how to war. She taught us how to pray. Like, she's been our backbone from the very beginning.
Sorry. I'm not going to get to this point. I miss my mom. She was an amazing personality. She was a no-nonsense woman. A no-nonsense woman. And she always had a smile. She's so kind. She's a very kind person. Like, till you can see there's some work going on in the house. Some we brought to the house, they were like, oh, we used to know your mom, you know. She used to give us water. We had water here. She used to share food to the community, you know. Not till dates, we have good testimonies about her. I can't say, if I keep talking about her, maybe we would not leave, but she was an amazing person.
Chukwuemeka Achum is the MD and CEO of Falcon Aerospace Limited. He says the company has no regrets in employing Funmi.
With Funmi, you know, we've seen resilience, strength of character. You know, I remember the first conversation I had with her when we were, you know, interviewing her for the role, and it was, you know, you could feel that passion, you could feel that energy, and you could feel easily that these were ingredients of, you know, what you want in anybody. And for me, the spectrum of analysis was not necessarily if she was male or female, you know, but we wanted a particular culture set, and she brought that to the team, and we could see almost immediately that this is somebody we want to have, you know, as part of our team. And she hasn't disappointed. Hard worker, she wants to do extra. It's not only about flying, you know. She is, I mean, we are truly lucky to have Funmi, you know, work with us.
Captain Babatunde Ajakaye is the chief pilot at Bristol Helicopters, Port Harcourt, and boss to Captain Lola and Seun. He tells me both sisters have contributed tremendously to the growth of the company.
Captain Lola, which I've worked with for over 8 years, brilliant captain, very helpful, very flexible, and her sister Seun as well. She's worked in most of the bases in Bristol, Nigeria. Good hand as well, very flexible, and they're always here to assist the company anytime, any day.
And have you ever wondered what a typical day of a pilot looks like?
Okay, this is what our morning always looks like. Good morning, good morning. How are you?
Good.
And how was your night?
Good.
So we're flying today together. So first of all, we come and we log in to the system for the day. Seun, you're the one handling the paperwork today. I'll be doing the flying. So we share our responsibility. Even though I'm the captain and she's the senior flying officer, we still share. We try to delegate, as in know who is flying and who will be doing the paperwork. So Seun, you're good to do the paperwork, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do the flying. Maybe I'll do the first 2 flights and then you take over from me. So we'll be doing the paperwork, and then I will ask operation for what our program is going to be like. Operation. Good morning again. So we are doing a rental, right? According to the roster, and I'm flying Whiskey Delta. So I'll just wait for you to write out what the program for today. Yes.
So we're going to be here very early.
Okay.
We have 3 flights today.
Okay. All right. So while I'm waiting for her to do that, I'll just acquaint myself with any other thing, if there's anything new on the board, and just look at information board, nothing different, nothing new. Look at this one too, all our decks, all still here, nothing new, nothing has changed, nothing new has been added. And then I make sure I and my co-pilot, our names are on green. We are green, so we're good to go. Our names are green, and we have majority of people in green. So I'm waiting for her, she's doing the paperwork.
So this one is working, so
okay, that's working, so.
Africa today has the highest percentage of women pilots at 5.2%, a significant increase from 4.1% in 2026, per the latest global survey conducted by the International Civil Aviation Organization.
Hello, welcome to my reality. This is my world. Literally, I'm happy that you were able to come and see my space and see what I do for a living and what I do as a passion. I've always wanted to be remembered as someone that is standing out, not just standing out for standing out, but be an inspiration to young girls and to the rest of the world that you can do this, you can stand out, you can dare to dream. We're not a lot of women in this industry, but I'm one of them, and so you can be part of us. My long-term dream is to be a lady and be a name that has been remembered for good, inspiring a lot of children, a lot of women to be their best, to stand out to be their best, literally. Once again, I am Oluwafumlayo Makinde Marcus, the right-wing pilot of Viva Jet. Welcome to my world.
I am Captain Lola. I fly the SL-60. Come fly with me.
Hi, I'm Senior First Officer Oluwaseun Jerola. Guess you've met my captain? Come join us.
Let's go.
So, right seat.
And as the Makinde sisters continue to soar high in the skies, their story will undoubtedly inspire future generations to reach for the stars and break barriers fearlessly. Their legacy will remain etched in the annals of the aviation history, reminding us all that dreams have no boundaries and that with passion and perseverance, anything is possible.
And that does it for us on this edition of the program. Hope you have been inspired by the exceptional story of the Makinde pilot sisters. Until next time, I am Kelly Egiga. Stay amazing. Bye now.